Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you could strum through a song called Venus by Lady Gaga. And it starts out with some really cool bass hits where you can play low open E and then second fret on the D string. And you can kind of work that, and we'll end up cabling this on first fret, just in case. So you got kind of that O2-2-2-2, 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 kind of working a lot of E notes. And you'll kind of hear this cool little keyboard come in where you can kind of work that same thing idea-wise on the high E string, so lots of E notes at the beginning. And you could even kind of try and put those together. Actually, you could start with the open E with the high E, and then kind of get kind of a bass and kind of melody idea. That might be kind of a cool way to kind of kick off the tune. And those licks are actually all around an E minor chord. And when you play E minor, first finger goes to the A string on the second fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now, a lot of times with a song like this too, to kind of back up my voice, I like using something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we tried that on the E minor. We'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So you can kind of use that for your intro. And then when we get to our verses, we end up doing the E minor 3 times, kind of with our whole strum pattern. And then there are these cool little hits, actually, where you may want to take the strum pattern and go kind of with a down, down, up, down, and kind of kill the strings. Down, down, up, down. Basically be repeating that until we get to our pre-chorus. And on our pre-chorus we go to a C major chord, and we play C major. First finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger goes to the D on the second fret, and third finger goes to the A string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really happy. And then from the C we go to the E minor chord for the pre-chorus, and then we go to a D major chord, and we play D major. First finger goes to the G on the second fret, second finger on the high E on the second fret, and third finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that'll get you your clearest sound, and that's called D major. And then from the D major, we're going to be going back to the C major, and then an E minor, and then we go back to D, and then we go to a B7 chord, and then we play B7. First finger goes to the D on the first fret, second finger on the A string second fret, and third finger on the G string on the second fret, pinky on the high E on the second fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a B7 or B dominant 7 chord. It sounds really nasty. It really kind of supposed to. So we try that through the pre-chorus. We have C with a down, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, B7, down, down, up, down, up. And then right after that, we go right back to kind of the E minor and kind of do a lot of the E minor at the end of our pre-chorus. And then from there, then we go into our chorus part, and our chorus starts on E minor, and then we go to a G major chord, and we play G major. First finger goes on the A string second fret, second finger on the low E string on the third fret, third finger on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. And then from the G, we're going to be going to our D major chord, and then we go to our C major chord. So we try our chorus with our strum pattern. We'd have E minor, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, E minor, down, up, G, down, down, up, D, down, down, up, C, down, down, up. And then from there, though, we're going to be mixing up a lot of those things, or repeating a lot of those things, until we get to our bridge part. And our bridge starts with an E minor vamp, but then at the very end, you'll kind of hear where the bass kind of pushes to a C note and a D note. So you may want to kind of work that last part as kind of an E minor with the down, down, up, down, up, and then an E minor with the down, down, up, and then hit a C and then hit a D to kind of match those bass notes. So you have E minor, down, up, down, E minor, down, up, C, D, E minor, down, up, down, part is to play along with Lady Gaga, though, instead of starting on an E minor chord, she's actually starting on an F minor chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on first fret, then now your E minor is really an F minor chord. Your C major is really a D flat major. Your D major is really an E flat major. Your B7 is really a C7. And when we get to it, the G major chord is really an A flat major chord. But you can still kind of start it out with kind of those E notes and kind of play around with that. That might be kind of a cool way to kind of work the intro. Or you can kind of put those together. So that might be kind of a cool way to kind of intro the tune. Or you could just strum through that and have E minor with a down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down. And then from there, then we'd be going into our verse part. So we'd have our E minor, down, up, down, up, E minor, down, up, down, E minor, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, kill it, E minor. E minor, E minor, E minor, kill it, E minor, E minor, E minor, down. And then from there, then we'll be going into our pre-chorus. So we'd have our C down, up, E minor, down, up, down, up, D down, up, down, up, D down, up, down, up, C, E minor, B major, B7. And at the very end of that pre-chorus, we go back to that kind of E minor. From there, they would be going into our chorus part. So whatever. Up, down, up, G down, up, down, up, D down, up, down, up, C down, up, down, up, D down, up, down, up, G down, up, down, up, D down, up, down, up, C down, up, down. And then from there, then we go back into kind of our verse form, but you may want to kind of work that as kind of an a cappella idea, actually just with singing, just with the voice. Or you can kind of back that up with the strumming with the E minor, E minor, E minor, and then E minor, down, down, down. Now something else I think about too through the song though is adding bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the E minor, you'd have the low E for your bass. On the C, you'd have the A string for your bass. On the D, you'd have the D for the bass. On the G, you'd have the low E for the bass. 7, you have the A string for the bass. So you can kind of work that verse as kind of a bass down, up, down, up 2, and you'd have E minor with the bass down, up, down, 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 E minor bass down, up, down, E minor with the bass down, up, down, E minor with the bass down, up, down, E minor with the bass down, up, down. And then from there, then we go back into our pre-chorus. So we tried that with basses. We'd have C with an A bass down, up, down, E minor with the bass down, up, down, B with an E bass down, up, down, B with an E bass down, up, down, C with an A bass down, up, down, E minor with the bass down, up, down, B with an E bass down, up, down, B7 with an A bass down, up, down, E minor with the 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 bass down. From there, they would be going into our chorus. So we tried with that with basses. E minor, G with the low E bass, D with the D bass, C with an A bass, E minor with the low E bass, G with the low E bass, D with the D bass. And we almost kind of end up with kind of a big stop on the C chord. And then we go into a chorus tag that's kind of like the first part of our pre-chorus, where we'd have E minor, G with low E bass, D with the D bass, C with an A bass, E minor with the bass, G with the E bass, D with the D bass, C with an A bass, from there, then we go into kind of our outro chorus. So we have our E minor bass, Louis bass, D bass, C bass, at the very end. Maybe we kind of work that with downs to kind of build up into that very last minor chord at the very end. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Venus by Lady Gaga. So good luck!